Hello everyone, this is Jay and today is Labor Day, so I have the day off and I'm able to show you guys the dividend income I received in the month of August from my dividend portfolio. I was having my cup of coffee, as you guys see right here, and putting everything together so I can show you guys the dividend income from August, but I'm very excited about September. We're already in September and it should be my highest month ever, depending on what SCHD pays, because SCHD is my largest position. But let me show you first the positions that pay me in the month of August. And it started with just 50 cents from my Apple position on August 14th of 14, ticker symbol AAPL. So as you guys know, I'm not dripping any of my positions anymore. I'm just going to drip SCHD and FXAIX. So that was 50 cents right there. This is probably going to be the last dividend that I receive from Apple because I'm most likely going to be selling this position pretty soon and move my cash to another position. Then my next one was on August 15. I received $5.81 from my Procter & Gamble position, ticker symbol PG, and I've been buying Procter & Gamble more and more. So the next dividend should be a little bit larger than this. So hopefully maybe like $6, $7, somewhere around there. And I want to buy some more this week also once the market opens because the share price is still under $160. So I'm going to see how much cash I have left over. Then on August 15, I got a payment from Main Street Capital, ticker symbol MAIN, $4.50. And this is one position that I need to grow more. I need to do something similar to what I'm doing with Procter & Gamble, but I'll show you later. Realty income on August 15 also. So I've received three payments from three different companies in the same day. And Realty income, ticker symbol O, pay me $9.16. And I've been throwing $5, $10 in there into Realty income here and there. So hopefully it goes under my cost pretty soon once again. But my next payment was on August 27 from Kenvue, ticker symbol KVUE, $5.55. And then my last payment or my last dividend from the month of August was at the end of the month on August 29 from Starbucks, ticker symbol SBUX, $5.43. And I know a lot of people are not liking Starbucks anymore, but I still do. I don't only count on the stores. I also look at the product that they have on the shelves because I see their product at supermarkets, at Costco, many other places. So don't just go by the numbers of the stores. You know, there's also product out there. And then if you guys see the dividend portfolio is at $23,700 right now, $2,900 in unrealized gains, 14% in the green. And you guys can see that, oh, Realty income, I got 34.2 shares. That's why I made $9 in there. 4.2% in unrealized gains. I used to drip the dividend back into Realty income, but not anymore. I'm grabbing that cash and hopefully moving it to other positions that I want to grow some more. But I do buy Realty income once it goes under my cost, which is $56.37. I did buy a few times around 57, maybe low $58. So I'm also okay with that. But I have $1,900 invested in Realty income. That's one of the other reasons why I decided not to drip anymore. I want to grow some of my other positions like Procter & Gamble, which I now have $1,100 invested in Procter & Gamble, 7.6 shares right now. And you guys can see that it's 5% of my portfolio, 6.5% in unrealized gains. Starbucks, I'm just holding there. It's at $88 a share, and my cost per share is at $83. So I got 8.9 shares. And then Kenvue, I got 26.7 shares, just really considering selling my Kenvue position. And then Apple, you guys can see right here, 1.9 total shares. That's all I have. I have 63% in gains. I haven't bought anymore. So just really thinking about selling pretty soon and then moving it to one of my other positions. But let me show you the dividend calendar where I keep track of what the companies pay me. And you guys can see that in the month of August, I got a total of $31.05. So you guys can see right here that Apple paid me 50 cents. So I've received so far this year $1.48. Then all Realty income, $9.16. So far this year, $70.62. And then from my Main Street Capital position, because they pay a special dividend at the end of the quarter usually, you guys can see that I received $9.55 in March and then $9.71 in June. We should also be getting another special dividend right here in September. So that's going to be great. But so far, $45.62 from my Main Street Capital position. Then Procter & Gamble, so far $14.11. Starbucks, I got $16 so far this year from my Starbucks position. And then Kenvue, $5.55 so far. I mean, $16.37 so far this year. And these are my positions, how much they pay, how much I have gotten in dividends every single month. You guys can see that in the month of March, which is the last month of the first quarter, was $113. Then in June of this year, $125. I can't wait for September. But let me show you real quick the monthly chart so you guys can see that in August in 2024, I received $25.21. So that's like $6 more than last year. And then in 2023, I received $17.48. So that's the good thing, and that's the positive about staying consistent and investing into some of your companies. In July, I received $39.39 of this year, and then in 2024, $69. But I moved some of the positions that used to pay me in July. That's why it was so high in July of last year of 2024, and now it's much shorter in 2025. I had to reallocate some of the money in my positions, and I moved on from some of my positions. But September, I can't wait for September. In the last month of the last quarter, which it was June, I got $125, which is the most I have received in a single month. So I can't wait to see September. Hopefully it is over $125. It all depends on realty income. How much is realty income going to pay in the month of September? But I'm really, really excited about that. And this is something that I tell you guys, keep track of it. Definitely stay consistent, stay motivated, just stay focused, because it can continue to grow and grow and grow. I could have quit. I almost quit actually in 2022. You guys can see that the whole year, even though I opened this account at the late of 2021, all 2022, I pretty much didn't invest anything. I was getting 72 cents in dividends, 70 cents. What was this? 44 cents, 72 cents. So it wasn't even that much. But then towards the end of the year of 2022, that's when I started buying some more companies. I started watching some more YouTube videos, and I was able to get in October $20, and then November $8, and then December $7.66. Somewhere around here is where I started buying SCHD, and then I just been buying on a weekly basis, no matter where the share price is at, and I just being consistent. Just staying consistent, buying SCHD weekly, and I also put $10 to $15 into FXAIX, which is the S&P 500 index fund, which it can also grow. You don't underestimate the power of the $5, $10, $15, $20, because it can definitely compound. And you guys can see that doing it that way, I built already a $23,000 portfolio. This is not including the growth portfolio, which together it adds up to $28,000. So just stay consistent, stay focused on your investments, do your research, because it can definitely compound. And then if we take a look at the quarterly chart, you guys can see that so far in Q3 of 2025, I got $70.44. So just waiting for the last payment of this quarter of Q3, because in Q2 of 2025, which is the last quarter, I got $191 total from my positions, which is great. It's a great feeling. And you guys can see, and I say this every month on the updates, you guys can see that I was getting only a few dollars, $1.50 in a single quarter, $2.90 in a single quarter. But then you see Q4 2022, $35, Q1 of 2023, $49. And you guys can see that it continues to compound into Q4 2023, $106. This is when I broke the $100 mark, and I'm aiming right now at breaking the $200 mark. That's why I just been investing, and hopefully I do break the $200 mark because I'm so close. I was only about $9, $8 and something cents pretty much to break the mark in Q2 of 2025. And you guys can see right here $184 in Q3 of 2024. That was great. In Q4 of 2024, 166. So you guys can see that it just keeps compounding and compounding. And like I said before, you just gotta stay focused on your portfolio. And sometimes I know it get discouraging. You see other people's portfolios and they have 100,000, 200,000, $300,000, or even $1 million. But don't compare yourself to the other portfolios because you have your own journey. Um, they have their own journey. You have your own journey. They have their own goals, and you have your own goals. So it's everyone is different. Not everyone should invest the same. You should invest to your goals and to what you can, and don't underestimate the compounding effect of 5, 10, $15. The How I got this strategy, pretty much the DCA strategy, was watching some YouTube videos, watching some people do it, and then I also thought about the 401k, and I'm like, my 401k, I just deposit, or it gets deposited automatically for my check, not even to buy one full share of the S&P 500 index fund, which is where I have most of my money for my 401k. So it buys fractional shares on a weekly basis. So why wouldn't I do that in a taxable account? And that's what clicked to me. And then I just changed everything. Also investing, even watching the videos on YouTube, watching guys like Ryan Williams, Dividend Diplomats, and others. I was able to learn how the power of the S&P 500 compounding is so great, because in my 401k, I had multiple different holdings, and I was getting paid expense ratios that were crazy. That's something else that I learned from watching these guys, watching a lot of the YouTubers here. It was the expense ratio, the importance of taking expense ratio into consideration when you pick an index fund or an ETF, because I was getting charged when I look back in the 401k. I was getting charged on a monthly basis or quarterly basis to have some of those index funds or ETFs that I did not know which ones they were. But when I looked them up in the stock analysis tab, I was like, wow, I was getting charged a lot. So I just put pretty much almost all my money. I think I have like 85% of my money in the S&P 500, and then the other 15% in a different allocation, a different pick. So definitely helped out a lot. I'm definitely very thankful that I started watching some of these videos on YouTube and listening to the experienced people. All right, everyone, please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, leave me your opinion in the comment section, very important. And don't forget to subscribe, guys, so we can continue to grow the channel. We can continue to reach other people because the channel is growing very, very well, and I'm very happy with it. I'm happy that you guys reach out in the comment section all the time, get so many comments. I know I can't keep up with it because I have 2 jobs, but hopefully in the future I will focus a little bit more on YouTube than having a second job or something like that. Hopefully everything gets better. All right, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.